Hey everybody, this is Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I have an idea that I pulled from an old art magazine. I can't throw those things out, you know, but I want to share with you all as I do this process video and use up some old art supplies that I have.
All right, everybody, there is a rehearsal starting here in a little bit, so I'm going to talk fast. These ornaments are super simple to make. They could embellish journals, they can hang as Christmas ornaments. The base of these are slide mounts on each one, and you can kind of see that outline there. It basically has paper wrapped around the slide mount, and then it is layered with whatever you want to do with it. I got these beautiful images from the Graphics Fairy and cut them out, and you can see it's just such a sweet little idea to let the angel's head poke through the window, so to speak, and you can see the wings in the background. This is the short of it, so I think you can look at this and tell what to do. Following this is a tutorial that lasts a little bit longer, so if you want to see the entire process, stay tuned. There are certain magazines that I just cannot get rid of. The Somerset Studio magazine is one of my favorites. I buy the new issues and I have a lot of old issues as well. Yes, Stampington and Company. So their magazines are awesome. I love the ideas, and a lot of times I may have used the papers in this one. They put free artist papers in some of the issues, so you have these heavy cardstock sheets that you can pull out and use. The magazines are a little bit pricey, but they have so much in them. You can see they're thick magazines. I save mine for reference, and some have become almost like, you know, go-to manuals for certain things. So the article that I picked out for this Try It Tuesday is an art process using old slide mounts. I have these on hand. I've seen different ways to use them. Seen artists use them online, but I love this because we're getting closer to Christmas and I need to start thinking about items for the shop and ideas for Christmas journals. And this is just beautiful angelic ornaments and cards using slide mount art. The contributor for this particular article is Gail Russakov. I'm going to put her name in the description. So she gives a list of things that we need for this. I don't want to get into copyright issues by just showing too much of the magazine in the video, although I'm going to link to Stampington, and I highly recommend those magazines. Just pulling out a few slides. Not too long ago, I found some really cool slides that are not your average. I don't know if I can get this to where you can see. And this one is really a large slide. Looks like a fashion image. And this one did as well. Oh, maybe there. Can you see that? Let's get into the ones that we're going to use. These slide mounts that are in the cardboard, they are not always easy to take the actual transparency from. There were a couple that were cardboard and the images slid right out. I'm not going to tear these up. These are definitely in there more securely. These, however, are the kind that snap open, these little plastic ones. So it's really easy to take the little, the transparency or the slide out. So you end up with this. I'm going to save these little transparencies as well. And let me show you, I have a journal that I just stick all kinds of stuff in. This is just a little art journal that I have fun with, things that I kind of keep and hang on to. It should be a lot of fun by the time it's completely filled up. So I think I'm just going to take one or two of these. So let's put that right there. I love those. I love those little. I'm going to put another one in here as well. Looks like someone sitting at a table in a restaurant. So let's put this right there. So yeah, this is just a fun journal that I keep for myself. It's got a lot of original artwork of mine just so that I can keep up with different things that I've done if I want to pull them and do something. There's another bird that I sketched, and just different cards that I've made. I make things sometimes or design things, and then I kind of forget about them. And later I will come across something and say, oh, that would have been perfect for this or that. If only I had remembered that it was even in existence. So this is my little journal where I keep a lot of my own ideas and little things that I kind of like and I want to do more with later. The first step would be to cover one of these slides in a soft decorative paper. I can choose from, I pulled out some tissue paper. I love this sparkly pink. And then I have some little wallpaper samples. These might not be, not wallpaper, gift wrap samples. These might not be soft enough. So I'm not going to start with those. I'm going to try one of these pink ones. But you know what? Something else to think about. The little holes on here. If you'll notice, let me show you one of the pictures in here. Not there. I love the way these are attached to wire. I love to work with wire, and I love that copper look. So I'm wondering if maybe I use my awl and poke through on this book I use for when I'm making journals. That looks like it's going through. Yeah, so look at that. That'll be where we can put our wire through. Ooh, cool. So now what I want to do is to cover this with paper. So I want to cut that down. And let me get out my handy dandy tacky glue. I buy these things of tacky glue, and I keep one of these little, there's a kind of yogurt called Oui, the French word for yes. These containers the yogurt comes in, they're great for craft storage. But I keep my tacky glue sitting in here so that it's always at the dispenser part of the container. I'm gonna cut that down, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put glue on one side. I'm not gonna put it right on top of those holes because I don't want those to be covered in glue when we get ready to put the wire through. It says to just cut an X. Okay, well, now that we've got a hole in the center, maybe I can make this truly a neat X. And I'm not worried about, well, I want this to be nice. I'm not worried about perfection. Maybe I should be. But this is one of those little craft projects where it's kind of small and it's going to have a lot of layers, and I think it's going to be really pretty. Kind of even if we have some imperfections. I think all art has some imperfections. Now we need to, let's turn that down. So let's get all of these corners folded over. Fold that over and fold that little corner over. I think with tissue paper it is so thin. I don't know if you even need to miter the corners, and I wouldn't want to cut too close, get too close to the edge and then have the slide showing. So that is adorable. It's just a little frame. That is so sweet. So the next part, it says to coat the front with a little coating of modeling paste. so that you can paint the colors that you want. I think I may use some gesso instead. Let's see what this does. And we're going to let that dry and I'll be back. I probably seem like a one-trick pony when it comes to acrylic paint, but I love my gold paint. This gesso is dried or is dry. And I just love gold, especially like since this is a holiday thing. I want a holiday thing. This is a holiday, well, no, it's not a holiday craft. It doesn't have to be. But for Christmas things, gold is so wonderful. For Victorian things, gold is so wonderful. And even a touch of gold in like steampunk or gothic, I think it's really nice. So I'm going to put kind of a thick layer of this gold acrylic paint. I'm not going to cover the whole thing because I want some pink showing through. Okay. While that one is drying, I am going to start prepping a second slide mount. And I am going to go ahead and do another one where we punch through those little holes. That one cracked a little bit, but it's going to be okay because it's going to be covered. It's going to be covered with the paper, so it's not going to fall apart. This is the one I want. More gold. Is anyone shocked? I won't cut into that oval there. Do you see that? I may use that for something else. Let me see if I can be a little more maybe precise on this one from the very start. And we may have to sort of miter the edges or cut the edges down on this one. Not the edges, but the corners. Is that going to fit all the way? Yeah. Put some glue on here, some tacky glue. I love tacky glue. It is my favorite. I've tried so many other glues, and I love tacky glue for just about everything. I don't know that that needs to be... It's not going to matter which is the front and which is the back, I mean, but I want to keep up with where those holes are so I can put my wire through. So let's put some glue out at the edges and try not to put it in the holes there, but I do need a little bit for this corner to stick. But this gift wrap and tissue paper are both working well. So now I need to do this little slice in the center. This paper cuts easy. The tissue paper kind of tears, so it wasn't as easy to cut the little X to stick. So there is our next little frame, so to speak. Let me wipe these scissors off. I went online. One of the places I went to was the Graphics Fairy, and I found some angel images to use for this art. And these are just absolutely adorable. We're going to cut some out to put into the slides, just like they were done in this magazine art by Gail Russakov. So you see how they're cut out. Sometimes the wings are behind the little slide mount. Let's just cut all around the edges here. The Graphics Fairy has some of the best images. It's just a wealth of really good stuff. You can subscribe, get a premium membership, and she also has free images. Of course, you need to read the terms of service.
there are only a certain number of her images that you can include in one project. You know, things like that. And it takes time. It takes time to create downloadable art from old images. You know, things like taking out backgrounds and stuff like that. See, look how that's going to fit in there. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Now, I could have done a better job at putting the paper on this one, honestly. But the point of this first set here is to keep it simple, to show the process, and just not to be overwhelmed with it. Let's see. Let me get my wire. I know I brought some wire out. I have this copper wire that's really pretty. I got that at Rare Earth Beads. And we need a piece. Okay, so that punched through just really, really easily. Once you find it, if you've already punched the hole, that's no problem at all. So we know the holes are at the top, and that means that we want to, so she's got to go in that way, which I like that. And I think I'm going to plug in the hot glue gun. So the hot glue gun is hot. And I've taken this slide mount. I did put a wire through one side. I've just twisted it around. I found both of those little holes that I kind of had lost. They were easy to find though once I looked at this slide and just the orientation of it. Now I want to embellish that just a little bit. I always have lots of lace and stuff like that on hand. And I think I want something small. Doesn't need to be too large. Ooh, that's pretty on there. So let's just cut a little piece of this. Huh? I don't know if you could hear the cat just running through the house. Oh my goodness. We call it cat clown hour.
Marshall, is Amelia bothering you? I'm back here, ready to start some trouble.
I'm going to put that little piece of lace across there with some hot glue. And I'm going to trim the edge down a little bit. That's good. And maybe another little something pretty on there. What could I use? I know I have some pretty little pieces, so let's see if she goes in this way. Ooh, let's put that little heart there, because that's just a little flat metal heart made to embellish something. It's not a charm that hangs from anything, so let's put that right there. And what else do I want on this before I actually glue her into place? I think I'll go ahead though and put this wire through. I probably could have made that shorter, but so here's one of the things about these little slide mount projects. You can cover the back with a completely solid piece of Christmas cardstock, or with a little heart. This could be Valentine's Day, and since it's got the wire, you could use it as just a Christmas ornament. You're not going to have to use it, you know, stuck flat to another project, which is one of the things I'm going to do with this one. So pretty. So maybe let's try another little piece of lace. I don't know if that's it. No. What else do we want? Ooh, that's pretty. The angel really makes it. That's what makes it so pretty. Ooh, could you ever go wrong with pink sparkly? Maybe you could, but let's just see if a tiny little piece. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick that on there. And again, this is not planned as far as what we're putting on here. This is the learning curve.
This is just to get inspired and do one of these to see, you know, what it's all about, how it works. So, and you know what? You could put words on this. In fact, ooh, so I've got these tiny, tiny little words here. And I think I'm out of, in fact, I'm going to the store really soon to get some of the cream colored cardstock that I like to keep on hand. I used so much over the weekend, I'm out. So I would like this better if it was printed on that. But for now, since we're just doing our little test run, we're going to use just this white printer paper. And we could even put some distress ink on it. So these little words, it says, "She was an angel." And a little bit more there. I love hot glue, but I hate the way it strings everywhere. It just, I'm not always really, really good with that. So actually, let's just go ahead and slide her into place and figure out where we want to glue her down. I'm going to put 2 little drops at the bottom so it doesn't come poking through on the top. We want the glue hidden, so she's glued into place there. And let's put some under her head, and we're going to let the wings just sort of float. If I drop that thing one more time, eee. We're going to let the wings just sort of float. And that's so pretty. I wonder if I could indeed distress just a little bit. And you know how I love to take my old stamp pad and just get a little bit of water on the brush, not too much, because you don't want to mess up your stamp pad. And I have a new one and an old one. This one's the older one, so I don't worry too much. And it's not going to matter even if we get a little bit of this on the lace, which maybe I'll try that and just see what that looks like. She was an angel. Ooh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So the very first one that I've made, I'm going to put on this page in my sort of, you know, whatever journal. I love this page because it looks kind of Victorian. It's got the old paper doll. That's one of my little birds that I painted several years ago. It's got this pretty velvet sample. So I think that's going to be perfect right in there. And I've just hot glued that into that little book. It's dry. Ooh, that's dry now, so we can play with this one. And what do we want? Ooh, she's so cute in there. But look at that. Ah, these are just so sweet. I think we'll try this one. I just want to see if we can get these big wings to be in the back and have her little head poking through. And again, this graphic is from the Graphics Fairy. A wonderful resource. So I think we're probably going to need to, let me think about this here. The wings are going to go, let's go ahead and try. Let's just cut right around the head and neck area. See, remembering where these holes are would make all the difference. If you do want to put the wire in and have the your little cutout definitely facing the right way. And of course I faced it the wrong way. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You have to remember where your where those holes are. So there, that's still okay. Oops. Oh, that is so sweet. I really like the other orientation better. I think that's pretty. It's more centered. So maybe for this one, I won't use the wire. I'll do something else with that, and I already have an idea for that. And we'll still use the wire, but we won't use it as a hanger. So I'm going to thread it through this side. And then I'm going to bend that back so it doesn't come sliding out. And I think on that side, on this front side, I want to, okay, so I've put this wire through instead of, oh, that's going to be so cool. So I decided instead of beads to go with this little, so let's wrap that underneath. This is a little charm that was in a bag of Happy Mail that came from my Alejandrina. So I'm going to put this little thing on the side. This little, it's almost like a, what do you call it? I want to say a cameo. It's not that. It holds, it would be a charm that holds a picture or a little stone or something that's flat on the back. So let's go ahead and attach that. I'm going to twist the wire in the back and just lay it down really flat. So I'm going to end up probably putting a back on this one. And let's go ahead and glue the little sweet little angel into place on the back with the hot glue gun. So now she's glued into place, and this little oval is in place. So what I want to do is, now that that's on there, I have to figure out what to put in it. I've got some burlap, which I think that might be just exactly what we need. Let's cut that off. And let's cut a little oval of burlap. So let's put that on there. Put that right there. Let's put the little dragonfly in place, if I can get it. So we don't want glue going everywhere. We really don't. There. No strings. Let's see if that's going to stick. It did. We'll make sure that stays in place. But that is adorable. And now for the back, I think I'm going to use a piece of fabric because we've got this wire standing up, and I want something that's going to be pliable over that. I always keep a lot of upholstery and tapestry fabric on hand, which is, I sold a lot of it over the weekend. And thank you again so much for your support. And let's see how that would be on the back. I like it, and I like that it shows around the edges a little bit. Put some hot glue all the way around. Maybe a piece in the middle as well, or not a piece, but some, maybe some in the middle as well. So look at that. And again, these are not, I did not plan what I was going to put on these at all. You know, you may not like this design, but you could definitely incorporate the process and do something that you like. This could go on the front of a journal. You could do so much with this. Again, you could make Christmas ornaments. If you were going to make handmade Christmas cards, you could incorporate things like this. Just the process is what I'm talking about. So that is definitely another way to use up these little slides. I love the way these turned out.